Now, in context, as a 15-year-old kid who now you're big and you can dunk and that's exciting, you're already thinking about how can I get these moments where people can feel me and people can be excited and like all that stuff, right? What's up? How you doing? Welcome back to A Moment in Time with yours truly, Aaron Thomason. I'm excited that you're with me, but here's the question. Are you liking it? Are you sharing it to at least 3 people that need to get better with you? Don't you be selfish, give it away. All right, so here's what I want you to be able to, let's go into, and I'm gonna let you into my business a little bit, so don't laugh too hard. I need you to be gentle, but I want us to dig a little bit deeper in understanding distractions. All right, distractions, right? Because we know that the human attention span is only 8 to 12 seconds. And again, I said it before, some of you all have already been distracted, can't even remember what I just said because your brain real quick just jumped out, and I need you to come on back and sit here, all right? And so because distractions, if we allow them to, will only be delays if we get focused. And as we get focused, we then become clear on the path moving forward, right? So how do we do that? And I want to give a couple of examples on what I figured out in some embarrassing ways on what happens when you get distracted. Now, as you all know, I played sports. I'm a sports guy. I got sports stories. If you don't like sports, apologize. You might not like this video. Well, here we go. Let me give you the first one. I remember I must have been a sophomore in high school. I was playing JV, Cass Technical High School. Shout out to the greatest high school on the planet. But I was playing JV. We were in this big Christmas tournament in Benton Harbor, Michigan. And at the time, nobody had won this thing other than Benton Harbor. I'm on JV. We're getting ready to win this thing. My point guard comes down and he makes a beautiful pass. It's like 3 seconds left. Beautiful pass. I'm wide open. And as I see him setting the pass up to give me the ball, all I'm thinking about is what dunk am I getting ready to do? Now, in context, as a 15-year-old kid who now you're big and you can dunk and that's exciting, you're already thinking about how can I get these moments where people can feel me and people can be excited and like all that stuff, right? And all this stuff is going on in my head. It felt like it happened for like 30 seconds, but it might have been on literally maybe 1 to 2 seconds in which I'm not even focused on the pass coming to me and catching it. I'm now concentrating on what I'm going to do after I catch the ball. And guess what? The ball comes. It's coming into my hands. But because I'm distracted thinking about the dunk as opposed to the catch, falls out of bounds, we lose the game. Yeah. Still bothers me to this day. Straight out of bounds, lose the game. At 1 point, all I had to do is catch the ball. Why? Because I was distracted. And some of us have done just that. We're so focused on where we're going that we're not paying attention to where we are. Because you cannot get to a future that you only see in your mind if you get distracted by the future and you don't steward your present. That's what happened to me. I was distracted by a future in which I was going to be the man, in which my teammates were going to be excited, where I got a chance to be the hero. You hear everything that I'm saying? It's all about me. It's all about my pride. It's all about these things that has nothing to do with service. So it took me out of the moment that I needed to steward to just catch the ball. Then I can take care of everything else and still would have been the hero and could have finished it off if I would have just gotten beyond myself and my own desires and understand what to steward in the moment. Yeah. The vision I had the night before was us winning the tournament that no team had ever done in the history of the high school. I could have gotten that completed. I put myself in a position visually and me and my teammates worked for it. But guess what? I'm distracted about a future that does not even compared to the goal that I want to have. I wanted to win the game. But in that moment, I'm more concerned about style and it being about me. And guess what? We lost. Yeah, that's what's happened to some of us. We've made some decisions that we knew in the moment, had we been paying attention to what the moment called for, we would have never made that decision. Never. Because the ultimate goal was for you to get the job, for you to be able to win the contract, for you to be able to fill in the blank. But you decided that there might have been a shortcut. You decided that it might be something that might be better for you and you could achieve the same goal that you wanted to have happen. And guess what? Your pride kicked in. Your ego kicked in. And now you sitting back trying not to shame yourself because of that, you're delayed. And now you're trying not to shame yourself so you're not further delayed so you can get back focused and get on the path. And guess what I had to do? At 15 years old, we had another game the next day. I had to let that one go and learn from it and move forward. Because guess what? No matter how much I wanted to change, the fact that I had boards for hands, the ball went out of bounds, that I felt like I cost my team a championship, I couldn't get that moment back. And that's what I want you to understand. No matter how disappointed you are in yourself from being distracted, no matter how much you're trying to figure out, man, why did it happen? Why did it happen? Or how could this happen? Or I should have known better. And all those things that you're trying to do that's further delaying your progress on the path that you actually have clarity on, you just got distracted about. The more you keep doing that, the more you're delayed. And the more you're delayed, the more you're going to be frustrated. And the more that you're frustrated, the more it's going to start messing with your self-esteem. It's going to start messing with your confidence. And you got to do like that 15-year-old kid did. Next game. Yep, you reflect on it. You learn from it. But you got to go next game, next play, next moment. Because in order for you to get what's out of here, these dreams, these goals that are only residing in your mind, for them to become the lifestyle and the reality in which you live in, you got to let it go. Yeah, you got to let it go. You were distracted, but now you learn now how not to be distracted. And guess what? In my career, that never happened again. When I tell you it never happened again, it never happened again because I knew how bad it felt, how disappointed I was, in some aspects, how ashamed I was. I remembered that feeling so much that when I was placed in those moments again, guess what I focused on first? Catching the ball. So again, it's only one L you take, even in a disappointment. It's a lesson. It's not a loss. I learned from that. I've been better for that because that principle of being present in the moment keeps me from being distracted when things are coming around me. Yep, it might be a new and bigger contract, but you committed to somebody else that you were going to do it this way. Don't get distracted. Your integrity's on the line. Yeah, it might be a shorter path or a shortcut that you might be able to take, but you committed to this process with these people. Your integrity's on the line. Don't get distracted. And when we can stay focused, it allows for the clarity of the path in front of us for us to be so confident that it is a mere, how do I want to say this? It is a mere formality. Let's say it that way. A mere formality that for you, that's in here with the clarity and the focus minus the distractions about the life that you will ultimately lead and you will live that will come from here and be the lifestyle in which you'll live. Do me a favor. I want you to do me a favor and just give this to 3 people that you need to encourage, that they've been distracted. They've been spinning their wheels and they're delaying and they feel so disappointed. They feel like that 15-year-old kid that he let everybody down. But guess what? There's nothing they can do about it. But learn from it and move forward and to not allow for that lesson to be wasted on shame. I want to say that again. Don't allow for the lesson of disappointment to be wasted in shame. Because guess what? When you begin to be shamed, then you get not just delayed, but then you get stopped. And when you get stopped and not stop making, and you're no longer making progress, now all of a sudden, what's in here that was a dream that was exciting becomes a nightmare that you can't let go. You can't shake it because it's in your spirit, but you know that you standing so still that you see it such as a monumental or arduous task that you don't believe that can ever happen. Don't stop. Just take one step forward. Move from the shame to the lesson and allow for the path to be even clearer. Give this to 3 people that you know need to do it, and I want you to do me a favor in the comments. Just say, hey, Aaron, I'm getting out of shame this week. I'm getting out of the disappointment this week. I'm allowing for this lesson to be the fuel on my path. That's all you got to do. And if you say, hey, I need a little help of kind of shaping and putting everything into perspective, do me a favor. Hit me in my DMs. Hit me in the comments. Hit me on my email. Do me any of those, because remember, we're in this together. And I want to make sure that as you're processing through the distractions, the disappointments, that you put them in their proper context for them to just be slight delays and nothing permanent for you going from what's in here to what you can ultimately live in a lifestyle out here. I'm excited that you stopped by. I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that you're overcoming. And I want to leave you with this. Please remember this. Just because you started out on this journey to get better doesn't mean that you weren't already good. And until next time, I'll see you then.